Hello, Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. It's just going to be a quick little update on our garden here on Labor Day weekend. I got the sun right behind my head there, so this might be a little dicey. So right over here is our volunteer garden that had the watermelons in it, and we've harvested all the watermelons but one. So let's go take a look real quick at that. So there's 4 volunteer tomato plants in there, and they really struggled when it was the heat of the summer, but they're starting to put on some little blooms now, so they may make some fruit. So we did have one big watermelon right there, the long green kind, not the dark green but a lighter green. Went ahead and harvested that yesterday, and it's all gone. We ate that thing up. It was really good. There's one little watermelon right here left on the end, and the curl on this is still green, I think. No, actually, the curls are starting to turn brown. See right there. We'll probably let it go a few more days and harvest it. These type, we had 2 that were good and 1 that was just not very sweet. One funny thing is, on this dirt pile that I dug out to make that compost pit, there's a tomato that started growing on top of this thing. So my wife put some garden soil around it and kind of built it up to where the water would stay up on it. So we've been watering it, and that thing's really green. Got some blooms on it, so we might get some fall tomatoes off of that thing, of all places, on top of that nasty red dirt pile. Now we harvested our corn. That's it there in the compost. And we pulled up most of the squash and harvested the beets yesterday. So let's head on over here. We'll run through here right quick. Gate open. And there are Gulf flitter caterpillars on this passion flower. So this is what this type of butterfly lands on exclusively. So we researched that a while back before we moved out here in the country. There's a couple right there. So one has stopped by and laid eggs. So they'll clean all the leaves off of this thing. And then they'll put cocoons on here, or chrysalis, whatever you call them. And they'll hatch out butterflies. Okay, back to the garden. The sunflowers on both sides are about played out. The squash here, we harvested it. There's a few cantaloupes left. That one that was hanging fell off right there. So there's a cantaloupe. We got 2 off of here last night. Let me smell that, see what it smells like. It doesn't smell real right, but so there's a couple more there, one hanging there. So looks like we got 6 or 7 more cantaloupes. I'm not sure what she calls this. It's not something you eat, but it's a vining bean type thing. Got some zinnias down here and okra. The okra's actually putting on a few. And we picked a few okra. Corn's all gone. The tomatoes are just dead. But the marigolds look nice. There's another okra. Some more zinnias. And this is where the squash were. These squash were covered with squash beetles, and I tossed them over there into the chickens, and the chickens went to town on those squash bugs. Cucumbers, we've harvested a lot of cucumbers off of these vines here, and we've been trimming back the leaves. The artichokes, they're actually growing now. So I've never grown an artichoke. I don't know where they'll put on a fruit if they do. Is it in the ground or is it up on the leaves? Here's these sunflowers here. There's a few small ones left. And the spaghetti squash that was there, we harvested that. We got probably 7 or 8 really big spaghetti squash. So wife's been baking those in the oven, and we got like maybe 4 or 5 beans off of these beans, but they're really blooming now. So there's a little bean right there. Not enough to make a meal for sure. Maybe later on in the fall. Peppers all burned up when it got hot. There's a few peppers over there. They pretty much quit. Then out here in the front, some flowers growing there. There's no vegetables out there. Comfrey finally kicked in there where it was not doing too good. And some more sunflowers. See, we've been in that watermelon we cut last night. We put the rinds down here and let the chickens eat the whatever meat's left on those. We still are not getting any eggs from these chickens. We got them, I believe, about mid to late March. And I've opened up their laying, 2 of their laying boxes. And put ceramic eggs in each one. So, getting them trained to, and they're not roosting in there at all. They're roosting up here on their roosts. So we're anxiously awaiting to get some eggs. The solar off-grid stuff is working great over there. See, we got 12.9 volts. And the door goes, I had to set the door to go down a little earlier. It goes down at 8:30 now. That days are getting shorter. So that's it for the garden. You got a late start, but it turned out to be not so bad. We got quite a few vegetables out of it. Not near as many tomatoes as I would like to have, but maybe we'll get some off that volunteer garden back over here. Anyway, give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and we'll catch you later. Y'all take care.